My name is Seth Pimentel. I go by the alias African Ginger. I'm a contemporary artist, because I can say that now. But I'm a contemporary artist, painter, illustrator, just all-around creative. So I've always wanted to be a contemporary artist. I think since I was in high school, I went to NSA, so all I was exposed to was the traditional forms of creativity, like printmaking, sculpture, 3D design, 2D design. We were all tangible stuff, The initial idea I had for my solo show wasn't what my solo show became. My solo show, the initial concept was more refined and calculated, and my painting and my technique was trying to be honed. But with Ode to Catharsis, it was just pure release. I came to the studio and just threw paint on canvas, and I just kind of let everything go, and that was the journey. It was kind of creating these, I hate the word abstract, but these abstract portraits, almost a deconstruction of the human face, or deconstruction of familiarity, because the first thing you see is a face, so if you can deconstruct anything, it will always be a face. I can only bask in it for so long, right? I only have about a 2 to 3 week window of enjoying the success of it. But after that, what do I really, you can't do one show and then just, that's it, you're stagnant. And that's the problem with my show, is the style that I created and the way of expressing myself. And I could easily become very well known for that approach. It's something that lives in my mind. I can recreate so many pieces in that approach thousands of times, and that's how you kind of get a signature as an artist, is if you recreate the same thing over and over. But I don't agree with that shit. If my work is constantly evolved, and if that means I'll always be hidden under the limelight, then that's perfectly fine with me, because there's itches that need to be scratched, and you won't ever scratch that itch if you're just sitting and being complacent with it. You have to experiment, you have to push outside yourself. As a digital artist, I could create, and this is, I think, a problem with a lot of us digital artists that we struggle with, or a lot of us had faced. We'd create work, but we would never work traditionally. So I'd work traditionally with pencil sketching, but the digital would always be the final element. And it became such a common thread that I noticed that a lot of my friends, or a lot of people I know that are digital artists, can't actually create what they complete as an illustration. And that always bugged me, because I would do this really great hyper-real portrait, but when I tried to paint the damn thing, my proportions would always be off. Or I didn't know a certain gradient technique, or I didn't know how to blend things with spray paint. So for me, it's the culmination of all my painting skills now finally being honed in. And I'm not saying they're perfect, I'm still learning a lot, but it's kind of making sense. So my favorite part about making art is consuming it. As much as I hate the era of the internet, and I hate the personas that exist, and the disconnection of self within society, I love the fact that art is so accessible to everybody. So my days always start off with me waking up, I'll have a smoothie, I'll turn on my computer, I'll respond to emails, but while I'm doing that, I'm on Behance, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Pinterest, I'm building this massive library of work that I find so beautiful, and I'm following artists, and I'm trying to buy work, or I'm trying to interact with artists and have engaging conversations. COVID played a massive role in, I think, my work as a whole, because at the time, digital stuff, still therapeutic, but it was more aesthetic. Everything was all about aesthetics, good composition, good design, good color palette. When I started painting, because I actually have only been properly painting for about a year, when I started painting, it was all about catharsis, release, release, release. And catharsis with technique creates beautiful work, and that's pretty much it. As it stands right now, I'm working on my solo show next year, but this is the groundwork for it. And I think with this time around, I just want to work solely in oils. And I think I've definitely figured out a way of painting my very detailed, beautifully contrasted portraits with the movement that existed in my, the swiping that existed in my solo show. So I think with this new body of work, I have no idea what to title it. I think it will name itself. Everything names itself, but Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm gonna spend the next couple months just like working on these pieces. Instead of doing 65, I want to do like 15, like keep it super chilled, you know. That's what I'm working on right now. And with the illustration stuff, I'm just kind of going with the flow on that as well.